support the private companies, but also we support together with the farmers and the growers of the products to come together in the market system and to make sure that they can build their new economy, move to the next levels, and also we can create a good products, a great products for the international markets and buyers. So I will use this opportunity to.
Very good. Should I introduce myself?
Why don't we have Dara and like Congo first, Ken, and you can bring it all home for us.
Very good.
Okay, so let's start with me. Thank you, Sitoma, for always assisting us in order to find the market, especially the US market, which is we really dream about. Since my name is Andara, I'm just the chairman of Ampol Agro Product that we just established last year. But we got experience more than 20 years already about agriculture. And we mainly focus on the processing of cashew nut Cambodia, and then we are trying to standardize our factory in order to reach the international standard. For example, like GMP, HACCP, ISO 22000, in order to to get support from the market, especially in Europe and in US. That's what we are planning to do, and then hopefully this year we will have the process of finished product to sell to US and Europe market, which is we already identify some buyer that they are willing to buy from us. That is just roughly about Ampol, and then we will discuss more about our activity if you really need really need us to clarify about what kind of our activity that we are doing in Cambodia. Yeah.
Very good.
Great. And Lei Kong, would you like to introduce yourself?
Lei Kong? Hello, Lei Kong.
He was having problem with his internet.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Okay, just let me introduce a little bit about Lei Kong. Lei Kong is just my share holder, and he's specialized on the agro processing. Especially, he's worked very much on the international food safety standard. This is the key role for him, and he tried to produce the good quality product in order to hit the international market. For example, what is the market? What is the quality need by US, by Europe, by China, by Japan, and Australia, or something like that. That's what his role about.
I'm sorry. Is on he's managing sales for those areas.
Not managing. He's trying to improve the quality in order to meet the
to meet the standards.
Yeah, to meet the standard of each country. Yeah.
So he's quality control for production.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, okay. He's kind of like a chief of like chief. I call it chief production officer.
Okay.
That's an important role.
Well, it's key.
Yeah, very important. Lei Kong is a very important role.
Otherwise, it goes no place. Okay.
And Ken, why don't you go ahead?
Okay, very good. And is it on Dara, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Dara. You can call me Dara, no problem.
Oh, okay. First is Dara.
Yeah.
See, okay. So, my role in this case is working as a broker and consultant for the manufacturer. So, it's now 2 years I'm working within that sphere. I work primarily on the East Coast with retailers and food service organizations and the distributors that work with that stream of distribution. Mainly on the natural and organic side, but also with conventional.
Okay.
And then I also work with key groups outside of the East Coast, one in Texas, one in the Midwest, and also within the natural stream nationally for Whole Foods and Sprouts. Before this, I had started my career in food in manufacturing, and I was working in the fresh area with mainly French-style products, charcuterie items, and I did that for a number of years. Ron knows me from the beginning of that career. And then about 20 years ago, I was one of the founders at Fresh Direct, which is an internet retailer based in New York, and is significant because it's still the only one that's doing the complete purchase to the door, you know, from farm to your table for all sorts of items. So they work directly with producers in country and outside that bring products directly to the consumer. It's a manufacturing facility, not only a distribution facility, so it's different than most other internet companies. They have possession of the product from the time that it's grown until it reaches your table.
Okay.
In any event. So what I want to know about, you and the company I'm talking with, just how you fit into sort of the U.S. landscape and what your goals are here. And I read the brief that was sent over to me by Ron, and so the company that you have now is just started about a year ago, correct? And it's made for it's made for the commercialization of all the products that you are producing, whether it's on the fruit side or cashews, for export in all countries. And you've told me that your background goes back 20 years in the agribusiness, but I'm trying to understand the exact role of Ample, and is that as a consolidator and as the business agent, or is it one that owns all of the other parts of this business?
Okay, thank you for the question. I would like to brief a little bit about Ample. Actually, we have experienced a lot that so far we have the companies called Santana, which is the biggest cashew nut processing factory in Cambodia. And then after that, we have a little bit of different vision. That's why we open another new companies called Ample. But we will run the same thing as Santana, that we will have the cashew nut processing factory in Cambodia. So especially we will set up the factory in Phnom Penh. And then we also have the semi-processing factory in the central of the cashew nut production area. So we found that in Cambodia it's very hard to find the skilled worker inside, especially in the province. So that's why we are different from other, like other company. They try to set up the factory somewhere in the middle of the cashew nut production area, but it is hard already. For example, like the company that I mentioned about, like Santana, we start since 2017, but we cannot have a good production in order to sell to international market. That is the problem. So that is one thing that Ample find out, that we can only establish the factory in Phnom Penh, in the capital city, which is it will be easy for us to find the skilled worker, any facility, like transportation and electricity, everything. So this is a thing that we will do. And then Ample, we will try our best in order to apply the International Food Safety Certificate, which is we aim to get the organic certification, and also the ISO 22000, which is we hope that we will get this kind of certificate in June of this year, because we are now in the process of applying. And then our factory will be finished by the end of March. So
Yes.
yeah, hopefully we will be able to process the cashew nut by the beginning of May. Because why thing like that? Because we now is the from the beginning of the March, probably beginning of March, the harvest season of the Cambodian cashew nut will start. The peak season is March and April. So whenever go to May, so the quality of the cashew nut is not so good. So that's why we need to be well prepared during the March, and then we will allocate our working capital in order to buy the raw cashew nut from the farmer in order to process for our international buyer.
Yes.
And Paul, a bit different from other company also. We don't really want to have our big plantation. For example, like Santana. Let me give you an example. Like Santana, he has a big plantation, but Paul, we have only among our shareholder, we have around 100 hectare only for the cashew nut. And then, but the thing is, we try to work with the agriculture cooperative, which is they are growing the cashew nut, and also we work with the normal farmer. And then another thing also we call like CPA, community protected area, which is under Ministry of Environment, that they protect forest and wildlife. So we are trying to have the contract with them in order to buy the raw cashew nut and supply to our factory for processing and then selling to the international market. And then we have both. We have the conventional one, and we also have the organic one that we will process, because even our factory we will also apply for the organic certification also.
Yes.
So that's why we will process both organic and conventional. And another thing that even the factory that we are establishing is not very big. Maybe let's say like for the WW kernel, maybe around like 3 container per month or something like that. It's not more than that. This is our current capacity. But another thing that we try to have a contract with other small and medium cashew nut enterprise. So we will buy the semi product, for example, like the semi kernel from other small and medium processor, and then we will bring it to our standard, let's say standard factory in Phnom Penh. We will reprocess it and sell to our international buyer, because our factory in Phnom Penh, we are thinking about modernizing, standardizing in order to hit the quality that the international buyer want from us. So this is the thing that we are doing right now, and we also got a big support from Harvard to USAID, which is Mr. Situma already know about that one, and luckily we got also the support from GIZ Germany, and we also got a support from the GAWA Australia. And recently we have also the Ministry of Finance, also what we call another institution called Khmer Enterprise. They also give us the support in order to push MPOL in order to get the a standard processing factory in order to hit the international market, which is that we want to compete with other countries. For example, like for Cambodia, it is hard to compete with Vietnam and Thailand about the quantity. So we are thinking about we need to think about the quality. So we try to do our best in order to find out what is the quality from the farmer, and we need to to process it in order to try to to unify the standard in order to penetrate the international market. So if we just do the normal, it is hard to compete with Vietnam and Thailand. That's what MPOL want to do the market about the cashew nut. We also have other product that we have the partner with other company like dry mango, compote pepper, you know, like we have something like that also, but we don't want to talk at the meantime. We want to focus on the cashew nut first. That is our key. That is our key business. And then when we sell, we will be flexible according to the buyer. So we have our own brand. If the buyer interested to buy our Ample brand to sell in US, well, we are very happy to supply. But if they also need, for example, like the raw cashew kernel, pack it followed by AFI standard, so we also follow that one also with the brand that we try to have the market now in order to survive, and then step by step we will develop our own brand to, you know, to sell in US and in Europe also.
Very good. So, right, currently, before you're producing in your own facility in a month or so, you're buying from other producers to supplement the sales you have that you are currently selling to either in country or export.
Yes, correct. But the thing that, you know, in Cambodia, as Mr. Sitoma already know, that the cashew nut processing factory in Cambodia is very, very low in terms of the quality and in terms of the quantity. So, like, to be honest with you, now it's around like more than 1 million of raw cashew nut going to Vietnam every year, especially for 2021. So, and then we process, I think, maybe about 5% only, 5% of 1 million, of 1 million metric ton per year. So it is very, very low. So that's why if we are thinking about buying the finished product and sell to our international market, it's very hard. So that's why Ampol try to put a lot of effort in order to establish the standard quality cashew nut processing factory, which
So
is
I'm sorry.
We really want to for example like in US, we want, where is your GMP certificate, where is your organic certificate, where is your HACCP certificate, where is your ISO 22000 certificate, where is your maybe BOC if you want, if you have something like that. So we want to do something like that. And then other process, so in Cambodia cannot achieve at the meantime. So no, until now, if I'm not wrong, there is no factory achieve ISO 22000 yet in Cambodia. So that's why
that's a question. So how do you bring your suppliers up to code? How do they? Is Lakang working with those suppliers to bring their code and their specifications up to your level?
Yeah, correct. We actually we don't really introduce them to do the same thing like us, but we would like to train them in order to process the semi-processing kernel. For example, like they just cut the cell out, and then they just sell the kernel to us, and then we will reprocess this one in order to standardize for our good quality, because in order to process the kernel, it's not easy. And then we know that in Cambodia, it's very hard. So only maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3, let's say, about like 3 factories can do this, but not yet reach the standard. So that's why Ampol, we are not big, but we are trying our best in order to reach the level of quality that required by international market. That's what we really want, yeah. Because
I'm sorry, much of the production now is going as commodity over to Vietnam, and you're looking to make a point of selling it as Cambodian and under your brand if possible.
Correct. Yeah.
So, and then you also noted that you have some interest from a U.S. importer, and is that current business, or is that contingent on your current plan for new production?
Actually, it very much depend on my current plan in order. I mean, in terms of my production, because I already have the U.S. buyer, but they are not as a big buyer, and then they just established the new company in the U.S. California, and then for this year we have a contract with them. We will sell to US, but they need their own brand name. So we just produce for them and pack for their own brand name, and they will sell in US.
You're going to process and pack, or you're going to sell them just bulk nuts?
Actually, they want us to process and pack for them with their own brand in Cambodia.
Very good. So,
and they also have the buyer, but they don't really I mean sure yet about the contract with us, but they also have the buyer that they want to buy us in the, for example, like a 50-pound packaging with the buyer brand to US also. But we are in the process of negotiation, not yet having a contract.
Yes. Yeah.
So
they're not processors; they are distributors.
Yeah, correct. Then that's not.
And they are going to present this into ethnic markets, Cambodian ethnic markets on the West Coast, or is it for conventional stores?
Actually, they want both, but they know that in US the buyers more interested about the organic cashew nut.
Yes.
Yeah, and then but the organic cashew nut is a little bit expensive about the raw cashew nut. We are not quite sure that we will have the good margin for organic cashew nut, because we don't really have the idea about the price of organic cashew nut selling in US. And then we know that now the organic cashew nut, raw cashew nut in Cambodia now they sell about $2 per ton. So whenever we process it, 4 kg, we can process only the output only 1 kg, and then the 1 kg only 65% the W kernel.
Yes.
So that this kind of thing that we need to calculate, and will be the price. For example, like the product like black pepper, the price between the conventional and organic is big. So it is easy for people to concentrate or to motivate to grow the organic cashew nut.
Yes.
But and also organic black pepper. But for cashew nut, we are not quite sure. So, but when during my according to my calculation, if there is about 30 to 35 different from the conventional, then I think we can do. But it's 25 is very hard. Yeah.
Yes. So at this point, you're going to package as conventional. You don't have, with this current buyer in the U.S., they're also looking at conventional product as opposed to your organic products. So, what do you don't know yet if you're going to market as organic or buy as much organic. Do you have an idea of the split? How much you would have available as organic if you go that direction? Is it you mentioned that you have capacity for 3 containers a month currently, correct? Or will?
It depends on our capacity of our machinery capacity, yes.
And how much of that would you do as organic, or you're not sure?
I think the organic now, according to the Cambodian, there's 5,000. There's about like 6,000 of 6,000 metric ton of raw cashew nut in Cambodia at the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but most of the organic raw cashew nut is from the the old variety of cashew tree. So which is the kernel is very small. So if we process this is about like 320 and 440. So, and in this case, we don't really have the buyer at the meantime. So that's why we a bit hesitate to process the organic cashew nut.
Yes.
And then we for this year, we are trying to buy the organic cashew nut from 12 agriculture cooperative in Prairie here. And then we will focus on the big nut, which is when we process, the output will be WW 180, WW 210,
320.
yeah,
Okay.
and then 240. So that's what we want to do like that. So if we want to do like that, there's maybe we will buy about 50 ton only.
Right. And I see you also sell splits for mixing.
Yeah. We will do something like that for this year. Yeah. But if we really have the buyer, then we will do more, because that is very good also for the organic cashew nut, because there are some development partner in Cambodia, they try to support. So the organic cashew nut, they don't really sell during the harvest season. They collect, and then they try to do the sun dry in order to keep in the stock. So whenever we have the buyer, so we will think about if there is a margin, then we will try to process and sell to our buyer. That is another option also, because in Cambodia now, not like before, especially for the farmer who don't really have a problem about the economic. So they try to collect the cashew, and then they dry first. So they wait for speculation high, a little bit higher price if they are selling, like if they harvest in during March and April, probably they will sell during September. They will earn a little bit money or something like that. So it is the case that we can deal also.
Yeah, they wait until the large buyers are out of the way.
Yeah, correct. Normally, when they dry, if the quality of the cashew nut is good, of course, they can get a high margin more than selling the fresh nut. Yeah, even me, I did some time also.
Sure. So this the most of what you're going to be doing is conventional, and much of what your production will be in the sizes 260, 240 and up.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay, and then and made in any particular way, whether it's raw or roasted salted, you'll do all that production.
Actually, we have two main. Actually, we can say like not two main, like three main production that we are having the market right now. One thing that we have the big market in China is about the salt roasted kernel with testa, with the skin. So we have the big buyer in China. So we will focus on this one also in order to survive. Yeah. And then
they want to, that's a specialty for the Chinese market.
Yeah, because Chinese, they don't really want the white kernel. They just want the kernel with the skin and roast with salt. So, but the key, they buy only 2 times per year. One thing, I think maybe October, I guess, and another thing before the Chinese New Year. So
I don't see. I don't. So you just had, well, just before Chinese New Year. So it's an old crop.
Yeah. That is an old crop.
A year-old crop just finished. Yeah. So we don't get to see the kernel with the skin here. It's not.
I can share you my picture, or I can share you my my website, and you can go into my website and you will see. Because you know, my website I just developed newly, that we try to run it first, but we will update the information more and more. But at least you can see what is the kernel with testa roasted. Actually, we also have the photo that we sell in Cambodia. Everything I can send you all the things. That is one thing about our product. And another product, we have the raw one. The raw mean we just produce like WW180, just raw, and you can pack any kind of packing that you want.
Right, you're putting those in. You're putting those in vacuum pack of
correct.
20 kilo.
Yeah, and then another thing, another product. The third one is about the W, and then we roast it with salt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you doing oil roasting or dry roasting?
Just with the salt, roast with the salt only.
No, I'm saying is the roasting dry heat or oil bath?
Dry. We don't put any oil, nothing.
Okay,
we just
because that's
dry with the salt.
That's the way. Yeah, that's preferred.
But it's not salty. It's just with salt.
No. I know. But I used to be, so with Fresh Direct, among other things, I had to source all our nut program.
Okay. So if any chance that we can send you the sample, we also can send, no problem, because we have this product in stock. Even this is the old crop.
Yes, well, Ron, I believe has the sample. We'd like to see the new crop, yes, but at least we get to see something that Ron also has in his possession now, or Jim can send me. So we can at least see that.
The samples were shipped yesterday, so Ken should have them sometime early next week.
Yeah.
So we can take a further look at them.
Yeah. And then when you get into new production, we'll look at those too. But that's great.
Yeah, actually, we want to introduce our new production. We want to introduce our new crop.
Right, of course.
That's what we want. Yeah.
No, that shows best. I got it. I understand now. So I saw on this on the presentation some retail packages with some labeling, and I imagine that is the packaging you're using currently for selling within Cambodia and your neighbors, correct?
Yes, only in Cambodia. In the meantime, we don't really sell to the neighbor country yet.
Okay. Yeah. And then you would, if you were to do your own packaging for the U.S., would you look to keep that same sort of packaging, the clear packaging with a label, or are you open to doing different packaging?
We happy to open for different packaging. For example, like in US, they might require us to do something like this, like that, and then we need to follow. But for our brand name, for example, like if we want to penetrate the market in US, so we need advice from you. So US need to be something like this. Otherwise, you cannot sell, for example. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The thing that I think is important for you to sell your own brand here would be to talk about the sourcing, the location, and that it's not a product that has been transshipped around the area. It's not from India or from Vietnam. It's Cambodian. It's specifically Cambodian, and it's from this area. So to talk about the quality, the size, and the specific area of sourcing, those are key, because I'm sure it's not much different than what you see. People are interested to know where the food comes from, especially with products that are considered healthy, and nut snacks are considered quite healthy and are strong sellers in the U.S. have been for many years and are even stronger now. So if we can look at how you might capitalize on selling your brand, or even if it's under a different brand, the quality of the Cambodian sourced product as opposed to others.
Yeah, correct. Because like even we are in Cambodia, but we we really focus on the potential area of the cashew nut. Potential here, I mean that not about the area that produce a lot of cashew nut, but we focus on the quality. And we know that the province at the northern part of the Lesab is very good quality. We know, so that's why when we buy the cashew nut, we focus only this province. That is one of our objective that we we are doing different from other also.
Yes, and so you've made it clear you want to focus on cashews, not so much the fruits and peppers right now for export, but and then mainly on the branded side, but you're open to doing products in bulk for manufacturing for other processors here, and that you do have at least some potential sales for a distributor in California, so you get to see what's going on there. When do you think that will start in the next month or so, or is that going to wait until June?
I think it's gonna wait until June because they need international food certificate.
Got it. Got it. And if I was to find someone who's looking at organics, do you think you're open to again, compiling those products, getting those products sourced from the organic producers and reselling those? Are you interested in that side of the market if we look at a producer who's rather a seller here that's looking at organics only?
100% yes.
Okay.
because now I am working with my team in order to have the organic cashew nut contract with 12 AC, and we will buy the big nut. But if we really have the buyer who really interested to buy the 320 450 after processing, then there will be more raw cashew nut from the AC, because the AC, I mean the agriculture cooperative, they have the market about the big nut, but they don't really have the market about the small nut. So that is the key. Yeah, and then one more thing, and then we are working with the Harvest to USAID with this also. And then now recently I have the ECO. I think maybe you don't know about the ECO. ECO, there's maybe not an NGO, but this kind of like the Dutch support, the Netherlands. So yes. And then they now working on 3 provinces in Cambodia, Ratchanakiri, Stung Treng, and Priap here, which is the part that we can produce a lot of organic cashew nut. So
let me understand. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm just trying to understand. So ECO is a Dutch-based company?
Yes, it's a Dutch-based. Maybe it's not a company. Maybe some like a NGO. I'm not quite sure about this, but I will let you know. But
and what is their goal? What is their goal
they now they are trying to have the cashew nut subsector in Cambodia. They try to improve the livelihood of the ethnic people who produce the organic cashew nut.
The farmers,
so, yeah. And then they try to like give the good seedling, provide a good input, technology, everything in order to produce the organic cashew nut. And then they will find the buyer, for example, like Ample, to buy the organic cashew nut from the farmer or the AC. And then they also try to help us. Yeah. In order, they try to help us in order to find the buyer also. But we just started the communication last week. So there's about like 5,000 farmers. So we think about 5,000 metric ton also of the organic cashew nut. So this kind of thing that Empol are thinking about, how can we deal with this kind of activity, in order to, to help farmer and then produce the organic cashew nut and sell to the market, which is they are really need really support organic cashew nut. For example, in Europe and in US, that's what we are very interested to do this also, because we will have the organic certification for our factory also.
It sounds like you're getting a lot of support. Congratulations on that.
Yeah. We try our best. We don't very be conservative. We try to do something like that. When we look at the buyer, we don't really want the buyer who just want to earn the money, to get the margin, but we want kind of like cooperation. That's why we are different from other company. We are looking for US. We're looking for US. We're looking for European market, Canada, something like that, Japan. So that's why we're different. And other, they just look at the China only. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that is what
I would think the Japanese market would be interested in either the organics, of course, but also the large size nuts, the various the 180s in particular. They're always interested in the best.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because I used to study in Japan for 3 years. Yeah.
Okay, so you know better than anybody.
Okay, so that's what we really want to do. And then Ample, we will think about organic more than other company in Cambodia. That's what we will focus on. We will do conventional, but we will catch up the organic as much as we can.
Right. It seems like it's raising the level of all production, whether it's conventional or otherwise. You're looking to maintain a very high level with your certifications.
Yeah. And during my time and Mr. Laikong time with Santana, we already have applied for Santana. We have GMP, HACCP, and we have a certificate of organic for our previous factory. But now it's easy for us to apply for that one. But we will try to achieve the ISO 22000 one more.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then you're working on the market, right? The market now is as you noted right around the $2 range. And then if you can also send over to Ron and Sitoma what you think is happening with the organic products specifically.
Yeah.
Where the market is with that. And I understand that you're looking at this is for future reference. You're looking at 5,000 metric tons of organic once you have that cooperative put together.
Yeah.
So
we happy to share everything. We happy to share everything with you here when we put our each other in the loop. Then we can discuss by email or by any kind of social app. No problem.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. And your website is what is the name of the website?
You Ample AP.
Okay.
Just Ample AP. www.ampleap.com.
The same as his email address, correct? I think, right?
Okay. Yeah, correct. The email address is my domain. This is correct. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. I want to take a look. I don't know if I have any more questions right now. I want to sample and then come back to you and either through Ron and see what else there may be that is potential here. Do you have any other questions for me?
We don't really have a question for now, but what we want is maybe just us for sure have to find the market and then tell us what is the US market about, and then we try to in order.
No, I understand. You want to fit
how to reach that level in order to sell.
Right, you want to fit. So that's why I'm asking about. That's why I was asking about certain quantities and organics versus conventional, because that matters with who I would talk to. Whether I talk to people who are packers or simply distributors or retailers. Just at what level is this going to be attractive? right?
Yeah.
Both you and the sell and the buyer. So
yeah, because beyond the organic, Mr. Lai Kung and I focus on the for example, like environmental friendly product.
well,
Now
sustainability is important.
yeah. Agriculture, sustainability, agriculture, and then what we call the environmental friendly product, which is we will buy the organic cashew nut in a higher price from the people who contribute to not to kill the wildlife, not to to cut the forest or something like that. That's what we also want to focus on. So there's a few AC which is they really contribute to the sustainable agriculture and protect the environmental protection also.
Very good. And so in regards to that, just a little bit of background. So how do you maintain the let's say specifically with the organic production,